everything's on top of, like I said, detangling the hair and everything. So let's just take this down a little bit. I'm going to take about an inch off it. Thank you for your questions, you guys. And please ask more. I'm just going to kind of cross-check this piece, make sure it's nice and even and square. So now this is actually basically 4 little guides. I can just take that guide in any direction. Does that make sense there? That's just made that so I can just kind of come to the next piece and connect it right to where we started on that piece. Now this haircut was actually in our book on a straight hair. It's a nice round haircut that we taper it in a little bit at the end with the clippers. But I thought, you know what? I got a model with great curly hair. There's no problem in trying different techniques on everything. When working with curly hair, I always like to kind of think, how much is it going to shrink? How much is it, you know what I mean? Like, what's going to be my problems that I want to make sure that I know beforehand. So if I know I'm going to cut curly hair, it's going to shrink up, then I'm going to maybe not cut as much. Because you kind of based on that. Again, on ladies' haircuts, longer curly hair, I always want to make sure that I leave enough weight in the crown, because how many times you kind of pulled it all up, you've cut this perfect matching haircut, there's nothing, it's flawless, you dry it down and then the whole top shrinks up into a ball and you got this long straggly curls, because the gravity took over on the long stuff, but again, no gravity, there was not enough weight for gravity took over on the top, so they actually, even though they're perfectly blended, they separate just due to gravity. And you got these long perfect curls down here at the bottom and you got this bouffant on top, and there's a big missing spot even though your cut's perfect. So again, maybe leave this a little bit longer on the top at first, maybe bring the bottom in a little bit more so you can adjust it for the curls. Anybody going to hands-on tomorrow? Awesome. So we'll be doing a lot of, pretty much all this stuff on the lady doll head. She'll start as a lady, and then we'll make her a man. And then we'd get marking pins and give her a beard and everything. It'll be awesome. Little prizes for the best mustache. I mean, this is kind of fun cutting these little squares because you're just cutting individual little haircuts, and they just kind of all become one. Just run your last section. Actually, go this way. There we go now. And now my hands can still follow the head shape. Leave it in the right spot here. And then I can just cross-check my little square this way to make sure that left and right is even. Just follow it down. And since it's getting harder for his head to bend down, I'm going to kind of cross-check within my hand. So I know people are taught palm to palm or top of palm, different ways to cut. I kind of do both depending where my hands are. Time I can get this way. That's a good cutting. Cross checking. What would you like to share?
About men. Never, no disrespect to anybody in the room, really no disrespect to anyone in the room, but men are very one-dimensional, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean that they're the easiest clients when they're sitting in your chair to sell to. The average male client is 7 times less likely to change his stylist than He is also more loyal to product that he uses, 10 times more so than a woman is. So when you put a product in a man's hand and a man starts using the product that you've recommended, because he's also more apt to take direction from somebody who's a professional, if you put a product in his hand and make that recommendation, he is 10 times less likely to swap up his product than a woman is. So they also are not as price conscious typically as a woman is, because the second that a man has to ask the price before he pays, it'll make him look to his stylist like he's cheap. And he doesn't want to look that way. So super loyal. On the flip side, understand too, where your female clients are concerned, that still today, about 60% of the product purchased for men today are purchased by their spouses. So again, important those men that do come into the salons to have their hair cut, that you're always talking to them about what their challenges are, what they like about their hair, what they don't like about their hair, and what could be better, and making product recommendations that give him a solution to his problem. Make sense?
Have you guys ever had that where it's like they come back with a product, or you don't have that product or whatever? It's like, but that's all I know. It's like, that's it, they're done. They're just,
they need to be taught. I mean, the average man, and again, no disrespect to the men in the room, but the average man will take a glob of gel and he'll stick it right here. It goes right here.
That's not what you're supposed to do?
Oh, yeah. It's exactly what you're supposed to do if you're starring in Something About Mary, I suppose. But really instructing him, teaching him, let him hold the product that you're putting in his head as you're putting it in his head, showing him what you're doing and how you're doing it, and teaching him how he needs to use that at home. The 3 best words to understand when it comes to retail are what, why, and how.
Okay, cool.
This is what I'm using, this is why I'm using it, and this is how you use it at home. And it means that it takes you out of that mindset of, I'm not a salesperson. I'm an artist, I'm a hairdresser, I'm not a salesperson. So step back from that equation, and all you need to do is teach what I'm using, why I'm using it, how you use it at home, and when you walk them up to the front counter, you always recommend 3 products. Always recommend 3 products. Because people buy in odd numbers. And if you recommend 1, you have more of an opportunity for that client to walk away. But if you recommend 3, 97% of the time she'll walk out with 1. And it will automatically increase your retail service bill. So, food for thought. Yes?
Can you give me some examples of 3 products per day? You said earlier that 48 hours creating a
So everything that we have can be cocktailed or layered together. It's going to depend a lot on who your client is and what their needs are. The one thing that we always talk about is always asking clients what is the biggest challenge that they have with their hair, and addressing that first challenge first. Because whatever comes out of their mind first is like the volume client that needs volume also may be frizzy. So you really need to do the investigating of what it is that her first issue is, and then build on that from there. So, but you can cocktail anything over. So you can cocktail caviar and bamboo, you can cocktail all the bamboo products together to kind of Anybody else? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I think that's fantastic. That is not even close to interruption. That's what I should be talking about, but I'm just so busy looking at all these pretty curls. Dreamy curl. He's so dreamy, isn't he, girls? You guys are all too young, but there was a movie with Brooke Shields, stuck on an island. What was that called? Blue Lagoon. And he had this hair. But it was blonder. I'm sure it got blonder as he got stuck on the island too. So. Okay, a prize for anyone who names that actor. No Googling, no cheating.
What was the question?
The actor that played across from Brooke Shields on Blue Lagoon. Christopher Atkins? Is that what we got? I don't know, sounds good to me. Christopher Wacker? No, that's different. Yeah, I'm just connecting these last sides in and bringing them up to it. Walking them right up and just connecting them. My guide is there. Let's get this side here real quick.